All right, everybody. Welcome to the Paradox of Sports, episode 48. Had a couple weeks off here, 3 weeks off. Everyone's been doing vacationing and wedding. Jack and I actually, for the first time since we started this, got to meet face to face in the Black Hills of South Dakota. So, Jack, before we get too far into it, how was the vacation?
It was awesome. And yeah, it was just awesome.
So let's talk about it a little bit. So you guys, the whole rendezvous point was Morgan's wedding, but you guys leave Pueblo and you drive up to Hot Springs, South Dakota, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what were some of the things you did when you were in Hot Springs?
We went to Evans Plunge. We went to Mammoth Site, Angostura, and a few other places.
Okay, did you like the Mammoth? I was excited for you guys to try the Mammoth deal. Was it cool?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Explain to people that haven't been there kind of what it is.
It's basically just a Mammoth Site, and it's like has like an opening video, and there's like a tour. And I didn't go on the tour. I just went to look at the stuff.
And it's where so basically they have this pit, almost like the La Brea tar pits, but they have this big pit that is just full of these, and they're all young males, right? Haven't they figured most of them are just young male mammoths that slid in there at some point, and they're just
Yeah, because it was a sinkhole. Yeah, it was a sinkhole.
Yeah, and then they're just kind of toothpicking them out of there one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy, crazy place if anyone's never been there. So you go from there, and then you head into Deadwood. Did you enjoy Deadwood at all?
Deadwood was fun. What I liked, I got an old-fashioned soda. It was like the black cherry soda, and it was pretty good. And there were way too many casinos to count.
Yeah, you're kind of at the bad age where the kind of the teenage year people, there's just not a lot for you to do there. So they do have a couple of the cool kind of old shops and the old soda fountain and stuff like that. And
it's good.
And then we did the wedding. So we do Morgan's wedding, and then you guys came and actually stayed at the house with us an evening. And then we loaded up and we went out to Keyhole for the lake, and we worked on some wake surfing, which are some videos on the Facebook page. But what were your initial takeaways, or kind of what did you get from wake surfing?
Harder than it looks, because you literally have to force yourself up on the board, and without Jennifer giving me a push, I wasn't able to get up. I would just glide across the water with my back.
Yeah, basically what we came down to is you're not fat enough is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's not that
my legs aren't big enough.
You're not fat enough for the boards that we had for you to try to use. So I think if we'd have had more than just the night and the day, we'd have definitely got it. So we will put that on the list of stuff that we're going to get. We're going to get that taken care of next summer. We will have you wake surfing here, sometime next summer. Now you're back home for a few days, and then you take off on Thursday. So probably when this comes out, we're taping on Tuesday. When everyone's watching this on Thursday, when it premieres, you're on your way back to New Mexico, correct?
Yeah.
And so what is the trip? Is it still the same? We just go down, shoot guns, hang out, party with the grandparents down there?
Close enough.
Okay, will your cousins be there and stuff too, or how does that work? Who's all going with you?
I'm gonna meet with my my grandparents halfway in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Gotcha. So your parents just take you halfway, drop you off with grandma and granddad, and Which it's not great. It's Big Jack. And what's your grandma's name?
Grandy.
Big Jack and Grandy. So you
Yeah.
just got to get to Las Vegas with Big Jack and Grandy, and then they take you from there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude, that'll be a way good time. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of sports news to kind of catch up on because it's been here a few weeks. Before we do that, we're going to do our interview tonight. We're going to talk. It's going to be a lot of baseball heavy. So this is a Pueblo guy. So if you would, Jack, go ahead and let everyone know who we're talking to tonight.
All right. Introducing owner of the Pueblo Baseball Mill right here in Pueblo, Colorado, former Pueblo High School and minor league star. Please welcome Cory Voss.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for having me on, man.
So let's get started. What got you into baseball?
Baseball's been in my family for a long time. I gotta credit my grandpa on this one. He was a baseball player. He was a football and baseball player at CU. He actually had a chance to play for the Yankees as well. So I remember going around Pueblo, whether it was a restaurant or if we were down at Runyon, and I was with my grandpa. You know, everybody recognizes him and says hello to him. And every time that people talk to us, they said, "Man, do you know how good of a baseball player your grandpa was?" And they'd tell me some story about how he hit a baseball in the Runyon Lake or something. He hit a home run at Hobbs Field when he was 14. So that got me into baseball right away. I wanted to be just like my grandpa. I wanted to be a catcher. But then once I was in the game, it was everything about baseball. I would consider myself undersized. I mean, today I'm 5'8" on a phone book, you know. So baseball was attracting right away because it didn't really matter how big you were, how fast you were. So I fell in love with it. Learning about my grandpa, wanted to be just like him. But then playing the game, it's hard to not fall in love with the game of baseball. So
Turns out that you went to Corwin, which is the school I currently go to. However, you also went to Roncalli, which has been basically Corwin's national academic league rival, which I'm on. So only reason I don't like Roncalli. Which school would you choose between the two if you could choose one?
Oh, geez, that's a really tough question. I really enjoyed my time at Roncalli. I would probably say, you know, it really came down to the people that I went to school with. A lot of the when I transferred over to Corwin my 8th grade year, a lot of my friends came with me. And my 8th grade year was just a really special year at Corwin. I think it was the first year we had a football program there, and we made it to like the semifinals. We had a really good basketball team there. Yeah, Corwin was, I don't know, I'm going to go out on a limb, I guess, here and say Corwin. Hopefully that helps out a little bit, but yeah, really, really good memories at both places. But my 8th grade year at Corwin was pretty special. We actually set the 4x1 city record in track as well at Corwin my 8th grade year. So special year, my 8th grade year.
Dang. So talk about your experience with Pueblo South High School.
We grew up in Pueblo West. My dad went to South High School, so for middle school, we moved into town. My brother wanted to be a South Colt, just like my dad. I was the younger brother, so I didn't really have much of a choice. I just went where my older brother went. He made a fantastic decision in going to South High School. You know, we went to South because of the sports. I hate to say that. Football was really good at South. Basketball was really good at South. Baseball was really good. And so went there to compete and you know, be around some of the best athletes in the city of Pueblo, and thoroughly enjoyed my time at South. Everybody asked me, you know, hey, where'd you grow up? And I'm a proud Southsider. So being a Colt was a really, really important time of my life. I got to meet some lifelong friends there. Made a really good run my senior year, our senior year at South. You know, we were like 22nd or something in the state. We beat the number 11 seed, and we were on our way to beating the number 6 seed to go to the final 8, and we ended up losing it in the last inning. But incredible memories at South, and Yeah, I'm very proud of Colt Nation and everything I learned there.
After your high school career, you were drafted by the Rockies in 2014. Talk about that experience.
I committed to play college baseball my junior year, so that was a really, really good weight off my shoulders. And then heading into my senior year, started to get some phone calls and some interest from some professional teams. So almost every game my senior year, I had professional scouts there watching me and stuff. So it was very, very intimidating. Being able to deal with that kind of pressure. One of my favorite stories that I always tell is at South, we had a blue portable. It was like a deck of storage, wasn't very big. There's like, stuff falling out of the ceiling. And one of the Yankees cross checkers called me and he said, "Hey, we want to see you hit." There was a foot of snow on the ground. And he goes, "Hey, we want to see you hit. We're coming down today." I said, "Well, there's not really an indoor facility in Pueblo." So we brought him into the blue portable at South. And, it was very intimidating hitting in front of a Yankees cross checker, in this blue portable. Um, Cage wasn't even big enough, barely big enough to even stand up in. And he's in there trying to get good angles with me with his video camera and stuff. And ended up hitting some pretty good BP in front of him. And, into the summer, I ended up getting drafted and turned it down to go to college. But just the whole draft process and being around those scouts and um, having to deal with that type of pressure, I think really helped me later on in my career.
You decided to go to a college at New Mexico, looking to make a name for yourself, which you did, earning Mountain West Co-Freshman of the Year. Is there a difference in attitude between high school and college baseball?
Yes, college baseball is much faster. I think that is something that I realized right away. I was fast in high school. So if I was on second and somebody got a single, you're almost guaranteed to score. But in college, it's not that way. I remember being on second base and a guy getting a hit and I'm rounding third and I got thrown out by a mile at home. And you blink and things just happen at the collegiate level. So um, yes, it's really interesting. Everybody that you play with in college was the best player on their high school team. So um, I remember moving on and being a really good high school player, and then now you're surrounded by a bunch of other really good players, and that motivates you and pushes you to the next level. And everybody's just very, very passionate about the game, really hardworking. I thought I worked hard, and I had no idea. I got to college, and guys were working harder than I had ever even seen before. Waking up at 5 in the morning, going to weights, going to class all day, practice. Um, so I credit me being the co-freshman of the year to a lot of my teammates and stuff being able to push me on a daily basis, and you either rise to that challenge or you get left behind. So big difference between high school and college baseball for sure.
Why did you transfer to a junior college, although it was a good decision?
Um, so I was a catcher, and after my freshman year, they wanted to move me to the outfield. Um, my coach thought that taking the pressures of catching away from me would help me be an even better hitter. There's a lot of really good hitting outfielders. There's not a lot of good hitting catchers. So in the draft and in pro ball, I was more marketable as a good hitting catcher. And so, I knew if I came back my sophomore year, I was going to be an outfielder and my stock might go down a little bit. So that's why I left the University of New Mexico. Thoroughly enjoyed my time there, but I wanted to be a good hitting catcher like my grandpa was. I didn't want to be a good hitting outfielder. They got plenty of those. So that was my decision. That was ultimately the reason why I decided to leave.
The one star team you would have in college was Arizona, which helped you get drafted to the Nationals. Was this the last school you went to, or did you change again?
Yeah, I went to 4 different schools in 4 years, not on purpose. Um, the University of Arizona was my dream school. Um, it was where I wanted to go ever since I was a sophomore in high school. And so once I got the opportunity to go there, it was really hard to pass up. But when I was at Arizona, it just wasn't the opportunity I thought it was going to be. I didn't get a whole lot of playing time. And, um, if you want to get drafted and play at the next level, you need to play, you need to put numbers up. So I knew I needed to leave Arizona in order to put up the numbers I needed to put up. So my senior year, I actually went to Lewis Clark State College. LC State is in Lewiston, Idaho. It's an NAIA school, and they've got to be one of the winningest programs I think in the whole country. They have 19 national championships. They host the World Series every year there in Lewiston, and I tell people it was the best year of my life. At LC State, we couldn't wear batting gloves, couldn't have facial hair, no jewelry. We had to spray paint our cleats black, run on it hard on and off the field. So my senior year is when I really truly learned to play the game of baseball the right way. And a place like that really brainwashes you, and um, I don't know, you just kind of jog around the field every other place that you've been, and then you see LC State and how they play the game of baseball, and it really just teaches you how to respect the game, play the game the right way. And yeah, I always tell people I don't regret any decision that I made because it led me to LC State. And I think that I am the man I am today because of LC State. So that was definitely the best year of my life, my senior year, and very thankful for that opportunity.
Talk about your Nationals minor league career.
So I actually never played minor league baseball. I got drafted by the Rockies out of high school. I turned down that opportunity to go to college. And then I got drafted by the Nationals after my sophomore year. So I was playing at McLennan Community College. I got drafted by the Nationals. And my decision was to either go play for the Nationals or to go to the University of Arizona. And, the University of Arizona was my dream school. I had a really big scholarship to go there. So I actually turned down the Nationals opportunity to go to the University of Arizona. So never played minor league baseball. I'm a man of faith, so I don't think I was ever meant to be a player. I think I was meant to be a coach, and I think the four schools and getting drafted twice, and I think this journey was all along for me to help the next generation of players live their dream like I did.
Talk about the Pueblo Baseball Mill, which you founded.
Yes, founded the Pueblo Baseball Mill 2019, and it is essentially just filling a need here in Pueblo that I didn't have when I was growing up. So we are an indoor baseball facility here in town, and we're also a fall travel team. So when I would come home and from college and I'd need a place to train, I'd have to live in Denver for 3 or 4 weeks at a time and train at their facilities up there. So Pueblo just didn't have a facility or a place for me to train. So after my career was over with, it was a big goal of mine to be able to, build something that these kids could take pride in and come here and, try to help them live their dreams. And then the second part of Pueblo Baseball Mill is this fall team. And I got looked at by colleges and stuff because I played in the fall, played for the Rocky Scout team, and we went to Arizona, we went to Utah, we went to Albuquerque. And so, we had our first team last year and we're getting ready. Our tryouts are on the 13th of this year to have our second fall team. And, we helped 5 kids last year move on to play at the collegiate level. And we'll go down to Arizona this year. We'll go to Cheyenne and Albuquerque. So the Pueblo Baseball Mill is really just about helping Pueblo kids go after their dreams. It's really what
I would love to visit the Pueblo Baseball Mill. Where is it?
So pre-COVID, we had a location out in Pueblo West. It was 5,000 square feet. We had 3 cages, brand new turf. We had technology like hit tracks machine and things like that. So pretty incredible location. So because of COVID, I actually lost that building. So hopefully here I have a couple locations that I'm thinking about moving into. So hopefully here in the next couple months or so, after the fall program wraps up. These new locations are closer. So like one of them's downtown, which will be super exciting for us because we have, the steel mill on my hat and everything. So being closer to the steel mill will be really exciting for us. But yeah, downtown Pueblo for our new location here in the next couple months. Really excited about it.
What do you do in your free time now?
I'm obsessed, Jack. I have a problem with, I'm just, baseball is all I think about. I eat, sleep, and breathe baseball. And um, when I'm not working on the facility or giving individual lessons, group lessons, I'm just trying to always continue to better myself. So um, whether it's watching MLB Network or it's getting on social media and trying to learn something new from some of the professionals on there. I just try to constantly convince myself that I don't know anything and that I always need to learn more. I love to learn. And so constantly reading, watching stuff about baseball. I guess I'm not all baseball. I golf a little bit in my free time. I'm trying to find a way to compete. So golf's been a good way for me to try to compete a little bit. So just golf and then more baseball, man. That's all I really do.
How bad does golf screw up your baseball swing or vice versa?
Yeah, so I guess the reason why I like golf so much is because I never got to do it as a player. I was always told that golf messes up your baseball swing, or your baseball swing messes up your golf swing. Um, they're very similar. I mean, you're still using the ground, kinematic sequence, um, but you're hitting a ball off the ground versus hitting a moving baseball. So they're similar, but at the same time they're very different. And I remember I went out to Holly Dot with my grandparents one time and just hit a bucket of balls at the range, and then I think I struck out like 4 times that weekend. So that was the last time I tried to do both at the same time.
Yeah, even old man softball. If you're trying to juggle both, yeah, you're screwed in both. That's one thing I've noticed is just you got to stick to one, during that window and did okay, if it's golf time you got to stick to golf, but mixing the two is a disaster.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that.
So I got a couple more questions, and then I'll let Jack wrap it up for us. But with Jack being 11 and loves baseball, been playing since t-ball, definitely had some great moments, and I love it as a dad and assistant coach for him, watching him play. But what's some of the best advice you can give to an 11-year-old right now?
Yeah, I've been really lucky to be around some professional hitting coaches and stuff. A big mentor of mine, Steve Eaton, he had a short stint with the Dodgers and worked with Bobby Dahlbeck, who's the everyday first baseman for the Red Sox. And so um, I think this might be something that he would say, but just ultimately don't be a baseball robot. Don't get so crazy into the mechanics right now, and um, just be an athlete at the end of the day. Continue to play a variety of different sports. Swing the bat hard. My college coach used to say, "Swing hard in case you hit it." And so, as an 11-year-old, that would be my best piece of advice: is don't make baseball a business. Don't be stressed out about it. Just continue to love the game and be an athlete and play the game hard. And as you get older and older, less and less people will play the game of baseball. It'll start to become more of a business. You'll start out to market yourself and stuff. So just right now at 11, 12 years old, just play the game hard, swing hard, and be an athlete, have fun.
And then my last question is it just amazes me the talent that comes out of not just Pueblo, but you take a look at Highway 50 heading east. I grew up in the Lamar area. So we had the Scott Ellertons, we had Mike Thompsons, a lot of people down there, Queston Lahana, and just Tippy Martinez going way back, and just a lot of those guys, Luke Hoshaver, who his mom was my PE teacher in Wiley back in the day. So, known Luke forever. But just the talent that comes out of these smaller towns, just right down the road, how do you contribute that success, just right here in, our own backyard?
yeah, I think Pueblo and the surrounding areas, this small town mentality is just very, very blue collar, very hardworking. I tell people all the time, I am who I am because of Pueblo. I truly feel like I wouldn't have done what I did in the game of baseball if I didn't grow up in this town. You know, you go other places and, you know, they got all these fancy things and a lot of things are handed to these kids. And that's not the case, you know, here in Pueblo and these surrounding small towns. You know, you have to really earn what you get. And I think that has a lot to do with why people, you know, why we have 4 Medal of Honor winners from this town, why we have all these really good athletes coming out of this town is because it's just a very blue collar, hardworking mentality. You know, we go out and get after it and go get what we want. And I don't see that going away anytime soon. I think that all those great names, the Hochavers and people that you've mentioned before, they paved the way for individuals like myself to have success in this game. And I hope that I continued that legacy so that you know, the next generation coming behind me can continue it on as well. But I think ultimately it just comes down to the grittiness of you know, Southern Colorado and what that all comes with. So
This is my final question. What is your favorite moment from your baseball career?
I got to give you 2 of them. My first favorite moment is when I was 10 years old. I was playing at Corsentino, and I hit my first home run. I mean, you never forget your first home run. 10 years old. I hit this baseball that landed in between the archway on Hobbs, and I just remember telling my mom that, like, I couldn't even feel my feet as I was running. I felt like I was floating around the bases. So 10 years old and hitting my first home run at Corsentino is one of my favorite memories all time. And then more recently, I played in the Cape Cod Baseball League. The Cape Cod Baseball League's like the top 300 players in the country every year, and you get a scout day at Fenway Park. You know, I'm a lifelong Red Sox fan, so we ran 60s and did pop times, and they hit ground balls. We took BP, and so I ended up hitting about 5 or 6 balls over the Green Monster during BP at Fenway Park. And after I got done hitting, Peter Gammons, who is a really, you know, really famous reporter for MLB Network, ESPN, Peter Gammons was behind the turtle and put his arm around me and asked me how it felt and got interviewed by the newspaper and stuff. So I always like hitting home runs, man. And hitting home runs, you know, at 10 years old and hitting home runs over Fenway Park, you know, over the Green Monster. Those are 2 things I'll never forget for sure.
All right, let me ask you this. What do you enjoy more, hitting home runs or throwing somebody out trying to steal?
That's a tough question. I'm going to add another layer to this. One of my favorite things ever on defense was blocking a baseball. So like slider in the dirt, blocking a ball, popping up, then throwing the guy out. That was like, that was one of my favorite things ever. But I'm still going to have to go with hitting a home run. There's nothing like hearing the sound of that wood bat meet the baseball and watching it go. So they're close, but I definitely think hitting a home run's better.
Awesome. Well, Cory, hey, we appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. You know, we're excited where the Pueblo Baseball Mill is going to go, and definitely keep us posted on the new location. And you know, great chatting with you, man.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks, Matt. Definitely look forward to having you guys out when we get everything set up.
All right. We want to thank Cory for taking the time. There's a lot of baseball history in Pueblo. That's a family that's kind of been around a little bit. One thing I did not get to do, especially like at your age, hell, actually at any age, other than I think once I was down at Runyon for something when I was in college, is we would go to the old Masari at the old USC and play ball. But those fields like down around Runyon and stuff, that's a pretty cool setup down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you enjoy going down there and playing?
Uh-huh.
How do the fields set up? Like, which is your favorite to play on? Or are they different? Is there different age levels setups of the fields, or are they all kind of set up the same?
Yeah. So basically, the AU field, the field my brother plays on, it's Pusadu. It's like a very small, AstroTurf field. Like I don't even know how short the fences are, but it's like coach pitch. 10U is at Corsentino, 200 feet, AstroTurf infield, grass outfield. And then there's Salis, the 12U field, the field that I play on. It's 230 feet, all grass and dirt. And then the rest of the stadiums are grass and dirt. 14U Diorio, it's like 250, I think. I'm not even sure. And Danuccio's like 350, and then Hobbs is like 380.
And this is all in the same complex. When they talk about Runyon, this is all on the same property.
Uh-huh.
So there's just thousands of kids are playing on this fields.
Yeah. I'm gonna search up top 10 baseball complexes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bet it's gonna show up in the top 10.
We'll see. Man, there are some that youth sports, man, has turned into a big money making thing for people all over the world. So US, I don't know. I know there's some pretty big complexes in Arizona, Florida, California, mainly places where it's hot all the time.
Mm-hmm. This is the one in the south, but it's probably not going to show anything because it's the south for us. And let me see if there's like one for Colorado.
Okay.
Top 10 baseball facilities. No. I'm gonna see if I can find it in these just random photos.
Okay.
Was that Runyon? No, I can't. Is that Runyon though? No, that's not Runyon. Wait. Can't even tell. I don't think that's Runyon. Because there is a small field, but it's not small enough.
Gotcha. Well, where are you at baseball wise? Are you guys done? Like, where are you at on your seasons right now?
Oh, we just had our first practice for summer ball yesterday. We're gonna have another one on Monday, and then we have the games, so it's gonna be fun. All right, these are just fields, so I can't find anything.
So you're just going to New Mexico, and you'll be back by Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gonna be like what you had to do with Vaughn when we left the lake. Do a screaming run back to Pueblo and get to practice?
Kinda.
Okay. You've done it now. You've driven through Gillette into Pueblo. That's a long drive, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of nothing between Gillette and Cheyenne.
League.
So what is summer ball then? How many weeks, like, will that take you? Is your summer ball what takes you into football, or do you do summer ball, fall ball, football, or what's the schedule like?
It's summer ball and then practice for summer ball and then practice for football this summer, I think. We don't have the football schedules yet, so
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the big boy football training camp stuff's happening. So on that news, is there anything? Aaron Rodgers has showed up. It looks like he's going to be in Green Bay, and he's going to be their quarterback at least for a season. So does that suck a little bit from the Broncos standpoint? Like, were you hoping we'd get A-Rod?
Yeah, I was hoping we get A-Rod or Deshaun Watson.
And I don't know what's going to happen with Watson. I know there was some more legal stuff today. I don't know if he'll play football this year or not. I guess we're kind of still waiting to see what comes of all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still undecisive on his future.
Yeah. What else has got your attention sports-wise lately? What's going on?
whole lot of nothing, really.
Yeah, this is kind of that time of year where there's a lull. Everything slows down a little bit. And
Yeah, but the Olympics is around, though. Because Simone Biles exited the, what's it called? The Olympics?
yeah,
Mid-Olympics?
well, she dropped out of the team competition because apparently, which I think it's live here tonight, from what I read today, she missed a step or did something on a vault where she was having trouble seeing. And
she said it was she said it was like a mental breakdown.
Yeah. She's just, I don't know if people understand the pressure that are on them, and like the toll that stuff's taken on her body and the stuff. I mean, there are very few sports organizations that have the scumbags in it, like our Olympic gymnastics program has had, and the Larry Nassar stuff. Like, it's what those gymnasts do to their bodies are insane, and the beating they take. And I think she just hit a tipping point where she's like, I can't be out here, and I'm a detriment to my team or to herself, didn't want to get hurt. And she took a step back. I have no issue with it. If you're not feeling up to perform and can be at your best, like, I mean, I'm sure you've watched her and you see the stuff she does.
Yeah, she's insane.
It's insane.
Also, my mom told me about something where she had to where the judges had to lower her score because she was doing such advanced stuff. And they're like, no, we don't want anybody to get hurt, so we're just gonna stay with the standard stuff. But she did all of the advanced stuff, and they had to deduct points from her for some reason.
Yeah,
that's what my mom told me.
Well, no, and your mom's exactly right. Like, I mean, when you think about it in the grand scheme of the Olympics, I mean, what are the Olympics? That's not quite Old Testament stuff, but let's just look this up. When was the first Olympics?
The first Olympics. The first Olympics. I think it was Athens, 1896.
Okay, so you're talking 1896.
Games of the #1 Olympiad.
Yeah. So
it was held in April.
Yeah,
it was Summer Olympics.
Yeah. April 6th, 1896. 1996 is 100 years. I'm not good. 140 some years or whatever, 30 some years. Of all the years they've been doing, and the 100 and some odd years, and the tens of thousands of women, little girls that have grown into women that have done the gymnastic stuff, Simone Biles has done stuff that some of the stuff no one's even tried. Like, they've never even attempted, because people are trying it now and they're just wrecking,
Yeah, Biles, in my opinion, is the greatest gymnast of all time.
Ever. Not even close. And I don't know, because the lifespan is so short on the way they beat their bodies up. I don't know if she'll ever have a chance to catch like Michael Phelps, who's, I think, the most awarded.
Prolific. He's got 28 medals.
Yeah. So, and swimming's a hell of a lot easier on your body than gymnastics is. But yeah, Simone Biles is unbelievable. There's a cool picture of her standing next to Shaq, and it's insane.
I'm going to search up Simone Biles' height because I might be taller than her. Let me see. She's 4'8". I'm taller than her.
Yeah. Look at the Simone Biles and Shaq picture. And it's just ludicrous on the size difference between the two of them. She is an unbelievable athlete. So we'll see where she goes. I'm hoping.
That is such a weird comparison. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy, huh? So I think that she just needed a little break, and I think she's going to be back, and I think she's going to be fine. So I think everything will be fine for her. So hopefully she makes her money and can be healthy and move on and live the rest of her life. If she wants to be a mom and wife and all that, that's something she gets the opportunity to do.
Because Simone Biles' boyfriend's with the Texans now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he's with the Texans.
What about the basketball team? How our men's basketball team get beat by the French? What's your take on that?
Wasn't as bad as Nigeria, but still pretty bad. They should not have lost to Nigeria.
No. But
yeah. Also, more Olympic news. This Olympics boxer got disqualified after attempting a Mike Tyson.
He tried to bite a guy?
Yeah, his ear off.
Dude, I didn't see that. That doesn't seem very nice.
Moroccan Olympic boxer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then that's all I have for Olympics. Yeah, and then NFL. I'm still finding stuff on the NFL. And so one of them, a brother of an NFL player and a second man got jailed. Or Dante Fowler's brother got sent to jail in a 2016 student slaying. So, alrighty. So Dontario Rashad Fowler and Keandre Clamar Fields were held without bail.
That's crazy.
Yeah, craziness. Yeah, and then there's let me see if I can find anything else. So Deshaun Watson faces 10 police complaints amid the sexual misconduct controversy, lawyer says.
See, I just don't see him. I don't see him playing, man. I don't see him playing this year. Maybe something comes about for next season. I just don't see him playing this year. But hell, you never know.
So basically, the Vikings dropped their recent draft pick who was shot 4 times.
Oh.
Jalen Twyman. I don't know what happened, but he got shot 4 times. And yeah. Well, and then there's the MLB. There was that Astros-Mariners trade I talked to you about, sending Kendall Graveman and Rafael Montero to the Astros for Abraham Toro and Joe Smith to the Mariners. And then Steven Strasburg's gonna have season-ending neck surgery. And then Ohtani pitches 7 strong innings and hits an RBI single.
Yeah, that was against the Rockies last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Buxton wants to say with the Twins, that's good. A majority of Dodgers players don't want Trevor Bauer back. Meanwhile, in my video game, I'm doing a season with the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer has thrown 2 no-hitters already, and we're not even in July.
He's tough, though.
Yeah, he threw 2 no-hitters, including 1 in his first appearance, the second game of the season.
Yeah.
Against the Rockies. So, yeah. There was Adam Frazier being sent to the Padres for 3 minor leaguers.
Which I don't know. How close are they? Where's the standings? How close are the Padres to the Dodgers?
Let me see. MLB standings.
I mean, they're 5.5 back. San Francisco's leading the West, which is just insane. And then the Dodgers are 2 back. So I guess they're right. I mean, the Rockies are not the Rockies. God, the Rockies are 20 out. The Padres are 5.5 back, so the West will be a battle.
It will. And then the Rockies are 20 games back, so there's no way they're winning it this year.
No, the Rockies are atrocious, man.
Yep. Walt Weiss was better than Bud Black, god dang it.
Yeah, they're just not a very good baseball team.
Yeah,
Top
and then they're in
organization,
the
top to
NBA
bottom.
news. The Grizzlies and Pelicans agreed to a multiplayer trade after the arrival of their new head coach Willie Green, the New Orleans. The Grizzlies trade center Jonas Valanciunas to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and first-round choices. So, yeah, pretty big trade in my opinion.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then here, one more thing. The NBA has released their 2021 Summer League protocols. They make no sense. Vaccinated players will not be subject to daily testing. What does it say? Okay, stop. I'm just looking at Twitter. All right, so it says fully vaccinated players, no advanced testing required, PCR test upon arrival, no daily or game day testing, no quarantines for close contact, no restrictions for activities in Las Vegas, any in-person interactions. Non-vaccinated, 1 PCR test within 2 days prior to traveling to Las Vegas. PCR test upon arrival required to undergo daily and game day testing. 7-day quarantine if close contact. Must remain at team's hotel except league or team activity. Any outdoor meal at a restaurant attended only by other players and team attendees. Engage in physical activity outdoors. No large indoor social gatherings. No indoor restaurants, bars, lounges, and indoor entertainment venues. No overnight guests. Those make no sense.
No, that's just it's just going to get dumber. What they're doing in the NFL is kind of the same way. So we're not going to get into a vaccine, non-vaccine debate. That just makes people mad. But yeah, what the sports leagues, you're going to see the NBA PA and the NFL PA and MLB PA coming. They'll get involved when they start taking money from these guys.
Who's going to be the NBA's Cole Beasley? Who?
I think I'm sure there's several that you just haven't heard about them yet.
Yeah. Ratio.
So, all right. You want to get us out of here?
That's it for this week's edition of the Paradox of Sports podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And be sure to comment down below what your opinion is on vaccinated players in sports.